Hi, so we're going to be looking at power chords today, and power chords, they've got a great name and they're used in a lot of riffs, and there's something that it's time now for you to kind of have a go at and start trying with them. If you remember the first riff, well, that riff and many other riffs can be played as power chords. Okay, so lots and lots of riffs, especially in rock and pop, use these power chords. And it's also going to be a way to teach yourself the notes on the thickest string, which is going to be extremely important to your development. For example, at the moment, you wouldn't know how to play a C sharp or a G sharp, and these power chords are going to start to break that down for you a little bit. Okay, so first of all, what is a power chord? Well, it's always made up of, for example, at the moment we're going to start on a G power chord here, which is on the thickest string. We put our index finger on the thickest string on the 3rd fret. And now this is what makes it into a power chord, okay? So this is what we call the root note, the thickest string here. And this finger makes the 5th, okay? And you don't have to worry too much about the fact why it's called a 5th. If you ever see chords written as sort of A5 or G5, then they're basically power chords. So we take the ring finger and we put it on the 5th fret on the A string. Now it doesn't matter what power chord we have, we always use that principle. So it's always on the string below, going 2 frets away, so there's this fret gap here, okay? So that would be your power chord. And you just strum those 2 strings, okay? So power chords can be moved around the neck, okay? Changing their note. So this is a G5 power chord. If I were to move down to the 1st fret here, so I'm on the 1st fret on the thickest string, and then my ring finger's on the 3rd fret on the A string, that makes an F power chord, or an F5 it's also called. So that's F5, G5. And then you always just strum the 2 notes down. Now what you may find is that stretching your 3rd finger out there is too painful, yeah? Your fingers just still can't quite do it yet. So what you can do instead is you can use your pinky here, okay? You may find that more comfortable. However, I would strongly suggest starting with your 3rd finger like this to make your power chords, but you can use your pinky if needs be. So that's another way of doing it. Now power chords can be played on more or less all of the strings apart from the bottom string, because we don't have another string to hold it down. So the rule is this: on the E, A and D string, a power chord is always made with the index, then we go down to the string below and hold it 2 frets away. So this would be 3 and 5. If we were to do the same thing on the A string, we just move the shape down, so we go 3rd fret, and then we go down to the next string, so in this case it's the D string, the 3rd string down, and hold the 5th fret. So that's another power chord. So that's some more there. So if you remember 7 Nation Army, that can also be played as power chords. You learnt that all on the A string, but that can now be played as power chords. So please try that out. Okay, so power chords can be moved, and you can also do them on the D and the G string, so that's the 3rd and 4th string down. So they're power, so that's the same thing there, okay? Okay, now, how do I know that's a G power chord? How do I know that's an A, B, etc.? Okay, this is going to be the start of learning your knowledge of learning the notes on the thickest string. Now, it must be stressed that it sounds like that's a big task to learn all the notes on all the strings, but it's really not as daunting as you think. First of all, in music, I've actually written this down at the bottom of the page, there is only 12 notes. In anything you've ever heard in Western music, there's only 12 notes. Those notes are A, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. Then all that would happen is it goes back to A, round in a circle. So that's just 12 notes. Now I'm talking in sharps. Sometimes you'll hear people talking in flats, but I just do it in sharps, okay? So, to get started with your knowledge on learning the notes on the thickest string, I want you to remember this very, very simple technique. The 3rd fret is G, the 5th fret is A, and the 7th fret is B. So this isn't a word, but I just think gab. Okay? G-A-B, gab. If you think gab, that's going to tell you where a G is, where an A is, and where a B is. And then all you need to do is learn your musical alphabet off by heart. Okay, it's very, very simple. Just remember, I'll just talk about the musical alphabet. I have described it below, but between B and C and E and F, there are no sharps. Every other skipped note has a sharp. Okay, so there's no such thing as a B sharp. That's why in The Simpsons and Homer's in the quartet called the B sharps, that's the joke, that doesn't exist. So there's no such thing as a B sharp, no such thing as an E sharp. Okay, just a little bit of very harmless theory to get you started here. And anyway, going back to the fretboard, gab, G, A and B. So if I asked you to play me a G sharp, you'd just go 1 up the musical alphabet, which means moving up 1 fret on the guitar. That's a G sharp. Now, there's no more notes after G sharp, so when we go to the 5th fret, we get back to A. So that's A. So if we go up 1 more from A, we've got A sharp, and then we're at the 7th fret, and that's B. Consequently, if this is G and we go down a fret, we're going down 1 of the musical alphabet. So this is G, that would be F sharp. And 1 more down, that would be F. And now you probably know, if I was to play an open string, that's like going down another one that we don't have. That's why that's called the E string, because that's how it's tuned. So remember, this is the one thing I really want you to take away from this lesson, as well as practicing power chords. By the way, there's 2 more riffs that you can learn. You're going to be learning the 2 below in this section, and also there's the other songs that we've learned up till now, so that's Smoke on the Water and Seven Nation Army. You can play all those now as power chords to really rock it out a little bit more, okay? But please remember, gab, G, A and B. That will get you well on the way to learning the notes on the thickest string. Okay, keep on playing, see you soon.